this part of the country, the wolves are in an area where there's also livestock. So what we're doing is trying to find ways for people to use non-lethal deterrents, or ways of keeping wolves out of the livestock, so that the livestock continue to graze, and then the wolves can survive as well. In this area, we have some of the largest sheep operations in the state, and are testing these tools, the non-lethal deterrents, things like using multiple livestock guarding dogs, using fencing at night. We have lights, we have sound alarms that help better protect the sheep and keep the wolves out of the sheep. So far this year, we've only lost 1 sheep out of 10,000, and those are manageable losses.
This flattery system was developed in Eastern Europe by people who actually used to hunt wolves. They would use something like this to chase wolves, and wolves would not want to cross this type of thing because it was new and different. These flags, as you can tell, do quite a bit of movement in the air, and even at night in light mountain breezes it moves. So anything that's new and different, wolves tend to shy away from. So as long as these things are flapping in the wind, wolves have a tendency to avoid it. This flattery is set up in a circle, and the sheep herder who tends these sheep knows exactly where this gate is, and he's going to drive those sheep with his herding dogs through this gate that I have open here into this pen. As soon as those sheep get inside this pen, then I'll take this gate material right here and run it back over to the corner, and tie it into the other side of the fence. And then we'll electrolyze it, or excuse me, put electricity through it, through that solar power, so that it acts as a deterrent for the sheep getting out of the fence as well as wolves getting in. The purpose of having people with the sheep at night is to act as a backup to the guard dogs, because guard dogs do just an excellent job of alerting to wolves. But if there happens to be 3 or 4 wolves around, they can be a match for dogs, and by having a human presence, it really helps psychologically as an aid to the guard dogs. And one of the things that really works well is this is a handheld LED spotlight, very, very powerful. This light at night will shine 200 or 300 yards. I can see the eyeballs of sheep and dogs out beyond that.
There's also the ecological importance of wolves. What we're seeing having wolves come back is that they're having a real benefit to our native ecosystems here. So things like having wolves means we have better aspen and willow and cottonwood, because there's not so much overgrazing by the elk and deer. They follow the elk and deer, which means the elk and deer are moving more. And because they're moving more, we have greater growth in riparian plants like aspen and willow and cottonwood trees. And as those trees produce better habitat, then we have stronger beaver populations are coming back. We're seeing songbirds come back to areas that haven't been there for almost 100 years now. It has a real ripple effect across a lot of animals that are benefiting from having wolves back. The final goal for wolves is to have them integrated back into this habitat, into this region as a native species, and to have them managed much in the way that we do mountain lions or bears or coyotes, so that they're a common species again. And I think once we get to that point where wolves are being managed just like other types of wildlife, we'll really have success.